Yes, before we start the meeting, we'll open up, or we actually opened up the bids for the roof repairs, so Leo will tell us the results.
Okay, the first bid is from Dupree's Tech Incorporated here in Chazy. Total cost $8,500. And all of these, by the way, have included the non-collusive bidding certificate. And he included that the work is to be completed as soon as possible. The guaranteed completion date will be 9/30/13. So that's if it's awarded right away. The second one, JB Carpentry and Fencing LLC, the Burke Road in Plattsburgh. Jason Baker. His bid, $9,600. Guaranteed completion date would be 1 to 1.5 weeks from start date, depending on weather. The third one, D&E Development Incorporated, or LLC rather, $14,870. Completion date would be 4 weeks after contract, weather depending. And the fourth one, Northern Spray Foam and Contracting, Carthage, New York, $18,571. Completion date would be September 15th. Those are the 4 bids.
This one is 8,500.
First one's 8,500, the lowest one.
I don't have a problem with that, as long as he got the same information everybody else did. And see, that's just for labor only.
That's correct.
And actually, that's pretty much in line with what it should be. In my eyes, anyway. It's in line with what it should be. Maybe a little more.
You have the expertise in the field, so.
The back of that is a pain in the hind end to work from. But evidently, he's looked at it and he understands that.
How long should a job take like that, do you think?
Well, he's gonna take at least a week or better. There's no problem. He says by September.
No, he said by, oh yeah, September 30th.
Yeah, and that's not a problem. That's his 6 weeks or so from now, which is not a problem. Of course, I would imagine anybody else has got other stuff going on also. But if it's done by September 30th, it's been there for 1.5 years the way it is, so another 2 weeks is not gonna matter.
Really.
Yeah, he received the same information. We gave the same packets out to everybody, so
Yep. I don't have a problem with it.
they know what they've got to do.
Now, what do we put in it about payment? Are we doing anything up front or all of it at the end, or
We didn't put any specifics about
did
payment,
they
I don't
ask
believe.
for anything specific?
No,
Copy of insurance certificate would be,
So we'll pay at completion? Is that what?
that's my understanding.
yeah, the only thing I had in a resolution was that, the resolution hasn't been completed yet, if you want to add something to it.
Well, normally don't we hold back 10% or something?
Well, if we didn't specify, if he comes and asks for money up front,
Well, we didn't put anything on it saying that,
No.
we were gonna give him any money, so I would say that
what do
we
you
pay him upon completion.
Right.
pay in full
Don't
on
have money.
completion?
Pay in full,
Yeah, he's
hold
paying
back.
all the materials.
Right, so,
He's paying labor, so we
Right.
The only thing added to the resolution is resolved that payment would be made at prevailing wage scale with a certified payroll to be submitted to the town secretary.
So can we just add upon completion of the project?
Well, you must understand it's that because there was nothing in there anyway,
Right.
and he didn't ask for any money down,
Mhm.
so I'd leave it like that.
And you've gotta get the certified payroll.
Okay.
That's right.
So what else did you want? to
Done
add?
there.
We're gonna leave it
Well, I
as
guess-
is.
Just leave it as is.
I hope he understands it, I've been there.
For payment, then.
Anybody wanna make a motion to accept that bid, or?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
You need a motion?
I did.
And Dick, second?
Yep.
Okay, this is number 3 in your packet, if you want to look at it quick, see if I've got it, you want to change the wording of it. Or you-
That's fine.
Looks okay?
Yep, it's fine.
Okay, motion is made by Councilor Devons, seconded by Councilor West. Any further discussion? Roll call, Councilor West,
Yes.
Councilor Devons,
Yes.
Councilor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Skibby.
Yes. Okay. At this time, we'll open up the regular board meeting. We have a motion to approve the minutes of the prior meeting.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Just for your info, I'm gonna put that after you.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. All right.
Okay, Councilor Dino made a motion that the minutes for the 7/8/2013 regular town board meeting be approved as submitted by the town clerk, seconded by Councilor Devons. Roll call, Councilor West,
Yes.
Councilor Devons,
Yes.
Councilor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Skibby.
Yes. At this time, we'll open up the floor to anybody that would like to address the board. If you could stand, state your name, and
My name is Jennifer Christensen from Lakeshore Road, Chazy. And today I dropped off a letter and a map that you could refer to regarding a traffic pattern concern I have. Dear Town of Chazy board members, my serious concern about a potentially deadly traffic pattern in our town has led me to write this letter. Although traffic outside the village may appear sparse, let us be reminded about summer visitors, teenage drivers, and many older citizens who use our roads. I urge you to closely examine the intersection of Minor Farm Road and Dupree Road. The Gilmore family resides here, and I believe a local farmer, Tony Trombley, owns a massive cornfield on the curve. The potential for disaster exists when two situations occur. Number one, vehicles traveling west from Lakeshore area on Minor Farm Road who wish to head straight up Dupree Road cannot see oncoming vehicles entering the eastbound curve of Minor Farm Road. At this time, a cornfield obstructs the view. Drivers who are unfamiliar with the possibility of oncoming traffic may crash when passing onto Dupree Road. Second situation. Likewise, vehicles heading east on Minor Farm Road, despite the 30-mile-per-hour signs and yellow arrows, may not be able to view oncoming vehicles heading west from Minor Farm Road onto Dupree Road. Again, the cornfield obstructs the outlook. Motorcycle traffic is often not as visible as a car, van, or truck. This intersection poses considerable hazard for motorcycle drivers, or even bicyclists, who slowly and inconspicuously entered the intersection from either direction. And I might add, with the sun setting as it was when I was coming up the road, that posed another threat. I believe that years ago, Mrs. Wilson was critically injured in this region. Historically, what has been done to eradicate this traffic situation? If New York State is relying on the collective memory of Chazy citizens to use extra caution, the state is naive. We have Canadian and out-of-town drivers visiting the Lakeshore area. We have Chazy Central Rural School students with permits and newly issued licenses driving the roads. Additionally, we have many elderly residents who enjoy a ride about town. Please, I strongly urge you to use your powers to correct this traffic flow problem as soon as possible. And you can see for yourself where that targeted area is with the map.
Yeah.
So-
We, just to let you know, it is a county road.
Oh, it
Okay.
is?
I
But-
made a mistake, I thought it was a schedule.
It's a county road, but
Okay,
in the past years, every single year, and it's, I should have called Tony, but Tony's been very, very good about coming down and cutting 3 to 4 things of corn out of there, so the opening is better, so you can see better, and what I'll do is I'll call him tomorrow.
all
And I'm
right,
sure he'll go down and take down a few rows so that, you know,
Okay.
you can see around the corner. We do it every year, and I just forgot
Okay.
about it, to be honest with you.
all right, well, thank you for your time.
We'll call Tony tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to address the board?
Just one quick thing, stop. We had our finance meeting last week. Sales tax took a little dip, but still quite a bit above the projected forecast and still looks good. They're thinking it's because of the weather, you know, May and June, why it was off a little bit, but still continues to be very, very strong. So, looking good, but still cautiously optimistic. That's all I've got, unless anybody's got any questions.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I've got a few things tonight, nothing to, but we do have to go in executive session after we get done the meeting, if we could, for a personnel issue. First thing I wanted to go over is we have been contacted by the playground committee. Apparently, they have been donated 5 gallons of paint to paint the playground in the same colors as the new playground. And they wanted to get our permission to do that. They're trying to reach out to the Key Club at Chazy School to see if they may be interested in doing it. If not, I told them we may be able to get the Lions Club down there for a Saturday, get together to possibly crank it off, but they're gonna check with the Key Club first, but they just wanted to get the board's permission to paint the old swing sets and stuff the same color as the new one, so it would all match. I said,
You got my permission.
I didn't think it was gonna be a problem, but I just wanted to bring it up, and
Absolutely. Sure.
so we'll do a resolution after the meeting, Neil, for that, permission. I did receive a letter from, thank you, from Danny Wells. Basically, he retired a month ago, and he sent a thank you note. And it basically says, town board members and town employees, thank you for the plaque of my recognition of my 31 years of service. It has been a pleasure working with everyone. Now it is time to enjoy my life with my family. Thanks very much, Danny Wells. And we also got one from Bucket's family, just thank you for the beautiful floor arrangement. Town of Chazy Board, family of Donald Bucket Trombley, thanks for your kind expression of sympathy. Pass that on. A couple of announcements. There's gonna be a primary here on September 10th of this year. So just to let you know, they're only gonna be using the Chazy Town Hall instead of Chazy and West Chazy. This will be the only location for that primary this year. And I'm sure they'll be putting it in the paper. It's gonna be at 11 a.m. And it's gonna be closing approximately 9:30. So that is on September 10th.
See,
Yes.
September 7th?
10.
10. Okay. Just want to send a special thank you to, we got a notice from Clinton County Youth Bureau. And with one of our programs we put on this year was a Spanish program. And we did that in the West Chazy Town Hall. And they gave us basically a monitoring report for that program. And I won't read it all to you, but they were really, really impressed with it. The program was really well run. And I just want to throw a thank you out. It's a gentleman named Ed Marin, who is a Spanish teacher, I guess. And he works with his kids and he plays games with them and tells them how to speak Spanish. But the Youth Bureau was there monitoring it. And they gave us a really, really nice report. So just, I guess the program went quite well. There was 10 youths and 1 teacher at the class.
Spanish program?
Yes, Spanish.
I was there the other day when it was going on, it was very interactive. He was speaking to him in Spanish and then he had projects for him to do, and it was kind of neat.
So it's nice to be recognized and, with a nice letter of, from the county. And so I'd like to thank him for doing his job and also Tom Tatro for working to get these programs put in place. He's done an excellent, excellent job for
Yes,
the
he's
town.
done a fabulous
Really good
job.
So, okay, the town of Champlain wanted me to announce that on August 17th of this year, which is just a few days, Saturday, I guess, they're gonna celebrate their 225th anniversary right at their town offices. Apparently, they're gonna have the Gibson Brothers there at 5 o'clock. They have a town-wide yard sale going on that day. They have refreshments, they have Penelope the Clown that's gonna be there. Some speeches by the town officials around 4 o'clock. So they just wanted me to let everybody in the town know, and anybody's invited, so, you're welcome to go up to the Champlain facility and enjoy the day. I'm sorry?
How many years?
225 year anniversary.
225 years.
Another thing that is pretty important, and I want to get some feedback on how to monitor it, but the governor has passed a new legislation, or some new legislation that basically says at the playgrounds of all the rec parks from now on, there's going to be no smoking. And this bill will go into place October 2013. So we're going to have to get some signs made up. You can designate a spot for people to smoke, but it can't be within any of the ball fields. So we're going to have to watch for people at the rec parks and tell them if you
I
can
thought we
monitor
did that with
it.
our smoking policy already, didn't we?
We did, we sit on town property.
Yeah, but we put a certain distance from ball fields,
Mhm.
didn't we, in smoking policy?
I thought we did,
I thought we did.
I thought we did.
I don't think we
Yeah.
really
We worked
addressed
on it
this
a couple
one.
weeks.
Or designate
When is that coming into effect?
October.
Yeah, because Kathy and I worked on it together.
Any special date, just October?
Just said October, effective in October 2013.
Okay.
Nothing ever got to it?
No, I thought we had.
Yeah, 'cause we worked
policy
on it.
yeah.
But they said we never passed it.
You sure it will?
I thought we did.
She mentioned the other day and I looked it up, I couldn't find where
I
it
remember when you had revised it and I
Yeah.
thought
is.
you
We
did
revised it a
something.
couple of times and it never came back.
I don't know, we'll have to look at that. I think you did.
Yeah, right, because,
No, I think we did approve it.
Yep.
Almost positive we did.
oh,
We'll look
actually
back.
though, I don't know, now that you say that, because we had the issue at the garage that was brought up,
Right.
and we tabled it, I think, and I don't think we ever revisited it after that, did we?
That's what
I
I'm
got
saying.
copies.
It never got
It was
Yeah.
in my mailbox, Suzanne gave me copies of it.
Right, but after, remember he said,
Yeah,
We said all we had to do was, make a smoking area, and I said the only smoking area would be in Steve's work bay, because,
right,
that's where the torches are and everything's there anyway, so I
but
mean.
did we pass?
We'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, you weld, you do everything right there.
Yeah, I think, yeah, now that,
I don't think it was.
that it, because after that was brought
I
up,
don't remember.
Well, why don't we get a copy of it and we'll bring it up in the next meeting and we'll act on it.
I don't think his liver is gonna hurt when he's got grinders on.
But what I think we're gonna do is, I think what we'll do is we'll get a bunch of signs made up and put in around the rec parks,
Right.
around the ball fields saying no smoking area,
Mhm.
New York state law effective October, something like
Yeah.
that. We'll put them in all the rec parks so people know that it's not gonna be allowed. It says on here from sunset to from sunrise to sunset, but,
They should have heard it.
but they're saying also that they will help with some of the smoking signs, so we might be able to get these smoking signs for free. So I'll inquire about that.
Are we going to include on there, like ball fields and so forth? Because a lot of parents think that when they go to the ball, games, they can smoke.
No, they're not gonna be allowed to now.
I know, but can we state that on the signs, or,
Well,
this includes at games and et cetera?
Yeah, I'm not sure what their signs actually say, but they said that they can help us to purchase the signs, so.
Are they
I'll
allowed
find
to
out.
smoke in their cars?
Um,
Because you see a lot of people getting in their cars to smoke.
Hmm.
And I know at the schools, it's not even allowed in cars.
unless we just put a total no smoking ban on it, the only problem you're gonna run into is when you have the Old Homes Day or something like that, people still smoke, and but there's still playgrounds, so they're not gonna be able to smoke around the playgrounds. It's really common.
That whole area is a playground.
Yeah.
The
Really?
rec park, the whole
Yeah.
area is a playground.
I just think it's smoke out the street.
All you can do is put up signs.
Yeah.
But Tim says he's gonna enforce it, so
Yeah.
it'll work out.
All
Bring
right.
your brush truck down every time you have.
So anyway, just
I
to let
wanna
you know
see
that
that.
that's a new law, and that's the way it's gonna be, so we're gonna get some,
Make sure
we'll
you-
find some signs or get some made up, but they did say that they would help with the purchasing of the signs, so. So that's something new. Let's see. I think that's all I have for tonight. As we go around, we'll do executive session after. Jerry, do you have anything?
I have a couple of things.
Yeah.
I'm on the JCEO PAC committee for the outreach center. And we just had a meeting a couple weeks ago or last week, and it was brought up about internet at the West Chazy Town Hall. There's no internet access there. And starting this year, when people bring in their heat applications, it has to be done online. The way she's been doing it is she fills them out and faxes them over, and then she'll take a day and leave the office and go to Plattsburgh and input everything on the computer down there because she can't transmit or do it live online. But starting this year, when the HEAP applications come out in October, they have to be done online. So in order for her to process the HEAP applications in the office, she needs internet, basically.
Or wouldn't that be part of the JCO to install that and maintain it? And, I mean, 'cause there's a
Well-
lot of expense when you get into that, I'm telling you. Just with our internet service, I mean, we have problems all the time, and we have to have Dave come down and fix them, and it's not cheap.
Well, this would be basic internet from the phone company. I mean, one line of internet is like $30 a month.
But what happens when the internet goes down, or,
That's part of your service plan with the phone. It's like your internet at home, it would basically be the same thing. I mean, it's not a big server like we have here.
How often is that done? Just like one time a year?
What's that?
Yeah, keep that.
The
The heat
application?
Well, a lot of the stuff right now, she has to close the office and go to Plattsburgh to do because she doesn't have a computer there. But there's no sense in having a computer there if you don't have internet to, what good is a computer?
Yeah.
So she gave the computer to another office that, that has internet access. So, they have a computer for her, but, what's that? Well, we pay half of the, cost of that being there, basically.
half of what?
We pay half of the cost of the JCO operating there, the town does.
We rent in space, in kind space. for so much per month, but
But we pay their salary and
Yeah,
What is it, about 80?
we sponsor the program. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
you know, Dave just came in, and saved us how many, hundreds of hours and extra charges on the,
So basically,
I
it's
feel it's
another-
people for
another-
our community that we are
right.
shortchanging, because in order for her to fill the paperwork out now, she has to close the office, because she doesn't get paid any extra to go down there and
So-
fill out the paperwork, so she has to close the office early, which is shortchanging the whole purpose of it being there, and it's, $25 a month or whatever it is for the phone company, I'm not sure, but,
Just to add the plug-in,
yeah,
the actual line, is it DSL
Yeah.
or?
I mean, it's same as I have at my house, or, I think it's $30 a month.
Who pays the phone bill now for the JCL? Do they pay their own phone bills now, or we don't pay their phone bill, I don't believe?
Oh, that's nice.
I think we do.
I think we do.
I think it's a regular phone line that's always been there.
Yeah.
Hooks us up here, check, see if they would, it's a town, right, town hall, would be,
Time Warner?
yeah. And when it goes right by it, it is,
That's a good idea.
Yeah, they may
Maybe we'll do it
throw
for
it
free.
in as
Nothing.
part of the deal with.
All right, let me check the Time Warner and see what we can do with that.
But I mean, it makes a lot more work for her, plus she has to close the office to
Yeah.
fill the paperwork out, which is
So
defeating the
that,
purpose
exactly.
of
She's
being
not
there for the
people.
community.
Okay, I'll check on that for you.
Alright, I called Sue last week or the week before about a request for a streetlight on West Church Street by the campground.
I didn't get the message.
No, well, I talked to Sue and she had said to get something in writing, so the gentleman got me
Yeah, the phone
something
number and everything?
in writing, yeah, the pool number and
I
everything.
can take care of that.
It's on the second entrance going into the Wesleyan campground.
What I
around
do is
that
I-
area.
we do it online and we just plug in the phone number and everything and they usually respond to us within a day or so.
Right. But it's not an outage.
It's on,
It's not, there's no street light there now. They feel that there should
They
be.
want to-
You want a street light?
Right,
Yes.
that's what I said, yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So he's got a lot of information there and
a resolution.
Okay, okay.
Requesting their.
All right.
so we can do that.
We'll do a resolution after the meeting, we'll do that.
Just remove it.
Okay, all right. That's no
Um,
problem.
And then, I talked last month too about the dogs chasing the guy with, and he brought me a couple of addresses, so I don't know if that's something that we should pass along to her, or I'm
These
not
are
sure.
dogs that are.
They're dogs that are, yeah, and when he called them, she said, well, we should maybe walk someplace else, or,
So are these addresses that?
those
the
are
actual-
addresses where the dogs
He told me
are,
he
yeah,
was
They're
there
loose?
years ago too.
yeah,
Finds another place to walk.
so,
It's the
Okay.
same dog.
I'll get a hold of her.
okay. And the only, we were just talking about before the meeting, is there any updates on the Pfizer building, the sale, or
No, I mean,
is
it's,
that?
they're, right now, apparently, from my understanding, they're doing, with the county, I guess they're preparing a, what's it called, Bill? Tax, it's like a tax relief
Right, well, they're going with the IDA as far as working on a pilot agreement.
pilot agreement, that's what I'm.
Pilot agreement for the facility. But, yeah, it's been transferred over to North Star, North Star
That's the name
Capital
of their company.
is the new company. And they're marketing it, and they've got interest from various, they're big companies that work with these kinds of facilities, but nothing's concrete yet.
Now, where does that leave us when it transfers? Does any of that become on the tax roll?
Well, right now, it's,
Or are we giving them so many years tax-free?
well, that's,
or-
if they work out the pilot agreement, it would be a 10-year pilot. It starts out 50% for the first year of what the taxes would be,
Right,
and declines by 5% each year. So at the end of 10 years, it's fully taxable.
but we would gain something.
Right, it would be back on the tax rolls.
Right.
Now, many, many years ago, when George was supervisor, it came up, there were other people, well, they were coming into Champlain and Plattsburgh and getting all these deferments. And the town of Chazy, it's in there somewhere, way back, said that would not be allowed in the town of Chazy. It's when George was supervisor. Way back,
Wow,
it's in there.
wow.
Now, would that still be enforced if that
Well,
is
I
true?
don't know, I'd have to check what it is, I
Why
don't
not?
know. Well, usually this tax exempt business is sort of it's a state creation, state statute. It's not something that towns recognize or not. And really, the entity, it's tax exempt that owns it. When these programs are worked out, it's the IDA owns it, and they're tax exempt, just like, you know, the town of Chazy or another municipality, property you own is tax exempt. So the IDA owns it, and it's exempt. They turn around and lease it to these private facilities and allow them, and they make them enter into a pilot agreement. So, and the pilot agreement is you're gonna pay what the taxes would have been, or, you know, but a reduced percentage. And we'll keep title for the life of the pilot, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever the agreement is they work out. We'll keep title, we'll lease it to you, you'll pay the municipalities 50% of what the tax would have been if, you know, you ended up owning it and what, if it was non-tax exempt. So, I mean, the town of Chazy could have adopted something, I don't know how they could have opted out of that, because it's really not, it's under state law that creates this ability. I mean, it's a tax exempt organization that owns it. Be like a, you know, a religious corporation or something that's tax exempt, and then they go and lease it to some other entity. But it could be looked at and see whatever you do have on the books.
It's back there somewhere.
I think I kind
And, well, Jim Coffey was here at the time,
of started,
and it went through.
it started with the ARC and.
It's possibly starting with something.
Mhm.
That'd be, oh my God, 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Anyway,
We'll have to look into it and see what we can
see
find.
if we can find it, be interesting.
Anything else, Jerry?
No.
Sure.
I think so.
Sure, you wanna look
No,
again?
I think I'm good.
Really, just a couple concerns, Tim, and I know I talked to you about this last year, you took care of it. Corner of the Dupree Road and Route 9, and I know it's a state road and so forth, but you come up to the corner, when you look to the right, up towards Creamies, it's very hard, there's a tree, something growing, a little
I went up
beginning
there
of the
about
tree.
2 weeks ago and cleared that all out.
Oh, did
Have
you?
you been there since then?
Oh,
Unless there's more that.
2 weeks, probably not, yeah.
Where is this now?
Okay, corner of Dupree Road and Route 9.
There on the right,
Yeah.
when you went up, went to turn.
Okay, yep, I haven't been up there, okay, I had noticed it before.
Mr. Dupree come over and mentioned it to me
Okay.
that he didn't like, I went over and cleared it all out.
Yeah, and the other place is right in the corner where I live, on the Stetson Road, Old Meyer Farm Road, you look to the left, and there's like a vine or something growing on the pole, and it can be kind of tricky, and with that hill right there, it's,
Okay. We'll go over
if
and
it's
get it.
possible.
Yep, we'll go over and get it out of there.
Thank you,
Mhm.
that's all.
Just thinking, these bids on all this used equipment, that's all settled and everybody's got their stuff and so everybody's paid?
Yep.
Okay, then the only other thing I had, I did do that repair over at the rec park there, so.
Nyla finally helped you.
Nyla helped
Finally
me.
got her on the
I
phone.
was waiting for you.
Give it Nyla.
And I will be giving, I'll drop it off to Susan sometime, the material.
Thank you very much for doing that.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.
It's very kind of you, and
I,
Nyla,
yes,
and Nyla,
I was very kind.
yes.
Jimmy?
We did our paving. We did Bell Road, paved that, that was getting pretty broken up. That's done. We did Sheldon Lane, a section of it, the worst section of it, got that done. Sugar Bush Drive, we did about half of that, that was the bad section of that, that's all done. Clark Street, we went from Route 22 to Cider Mill Road. That's all paved. Next week, we plan on putting all the shoulders on, weather permitting. We're going out right now, get the guys out mowing again. Usually we mow twice a year, this year it's gonna be 3 times.
Yeah, without rain.
ain't much we can do about it. Steve's working on a screener, getting that ready so we can start screening sand and get going. We're gonna do a lot more sand this year than what we usually do. We usually go through roughly 300 loads a year. Last year it was 567 loads we went through. So
Wow.
I'm gonna put up 600 loads this year again, besides what we already have, just to really make sure.
Mhm.
But it's twice the amount of work.
Yeah.
So,
So it just carries over to next year if you have some left, so
Yep.
nothing wasted.
Oh yeah, Pat's fitting in really good, he's working out well. Pat Seymour, is in there, working out real good. Oh, that's about it, that's all I have.
Thank you. Bill, anything?
I have, this I can hand it out. It's just a proposed resolution setting a public hearing, but this goes back, it's the local law for the additional amendments to the zoning ordinance that the board, through Tom Dashnow, the planning board was requesting. So this is in local law format now. There's also a resolution to set a public hearing. You had set a public hearing, but didn't have it in local law format or something, so now you need to set a public hearing with this proposed local law. You didn't have any input, so it looks like what the planning board was proposing was acceptable, from what I can see. But here's a proposed resolution to set the public hearing on top, and the local law itself. So if you want to hold it till next month, and set the public hearing, it's up to you. Basically, it was to give some further definitions for, so Leo has one.
You got one there?
No, I'm not even have one
Steve, we should schedule a public hearing for the next meeting.
Yeah, if you want to go forward with those changes. It was basically just adding some definitions of commercial use, adult use, and farm winery, and deleting other retail store, as that's referred to in your zoning ordinance. There were some different changes to dimensional requirements for lots that are served by both municipal water and sewer. The idea of making them smaller, approvable lots because of that, having those services. There was a change in the distance for adult uses. It had to be 1,500 feet instead of 1,000 feet, as set forth in the ordinance. And there was one section that was added at the last amendment, and now they want to delete it. But it was talking about the code enforcement officer's access to premises, and that'd be deleted by this amendment.
on. Bill, is there anything dealing with seeker, this, doing this?
Yes, and I have that resolution as well, but that'd be adopted before we, correct.
Why don't we go to resolutions first, and then we'll go into executive session?
Okay, let's do this one here that he just suggested first. So I don't get myself confused here. The resolution authorizing me to put it in the paper that we'll have a public hearing on said proposed Chazy local law.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Councilor Dino made the motion, seconded by Councilor Devens. Any further discussion? Roll call, Councilor West,
Yes.
Councilor Devens,
Yes.
Councilor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is, the first one on your page is there, 60-day notice of termination of agreement between Richard A. Comey and the town of Chazy.
We no longer need his services, I take it.
Right. Tom Dashnow advised us that we can do it locally, anything that we've used for him, so he's confident that we don't need his services anymore.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Councilor Devens made the motion, seconded by Councilor West. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devons,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Okay, next one is resolution authorizing payments to sponsored Battle of Plattsburgh events and place advertisement in magazine.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Just to let you know, this is the same thing we did last year, same amount of money, everything. We're gonna, again, apparently have the Battle of Plattsburgh crew coming down to, Bob Nevert's old house again this year and camp out. Weekend, September, I'm not sure the date, but there'll be posters put out. So this is just an advertisement that we did last year in our booklet and showing them where events are taking place, it's the same amount, so.
Do we budget for that by any chance?
We don't really, but we find it in the contingency fund or
Yeah.
wherever we need it.
Might not be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Motion is made by Counselor Devon, seconded by Counselor Dino. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devon,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next one we've already done. Next one is violence in the workplace.
Basically, this was sent to us by our insurance company because we didn't have it in our company handbook. So we've added this to our company handbook, and this is your, well, blessing, saying that it's good to put this in our, employee handbook.
I'll make a motion.
Sure, 1 second.
Counselor Dino made the motion, seconded by Counselor West.
Have they offered to come and look at any of our other policies and assist us? You know how they said that they would do that, that they
Yeah,
would
Not yet.
do training and so forth?
They're coming September 17th.
Okay.
We're having a meeting.
And they'll go over our policies and.
I'm giving them a copy of our handbook, and they said that they would help us with any part of the handbook that maybe need a little lifting.
Okay, and they'll offer training, because I know they mentioned training also in areas that we need to
This
train,
is-
that they would.
Kind of the first meeting.
Right, this is the first meeting since we changed over,
Okay,
so I have to cross that bridge
Okay.
on September.
okay.
Counselor Dino made the motion, seconded by Counselor West. Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yeah,
Counselor Devons,
yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next one is resolution authorizing the town to have body work done on the 2007 Ford F-250 pickup using general equipment type capital reserve fund, subject to permissive referendum. And that's in the amount of $3,000.
Who uses this truck? Where's this truck?
David
It's David.
got this, so it's getting, the back quarter panels are getting rusty, and we just figured we'd take care of it so it would keep the truck in good shape for a while.
And, who's doing the work?
We've got a bid from, trying to remember who it
He's
was.
on Oliver Street.
Oh,
Jody.
Jody.
Now, do we put that out to bid?
He
or-
he got two quotes.
So Jody.
Is it just two quotes from people that he went to, or do we put it out so people can put in
I
bids?
I think
or-
we just have to secure, if I'm right, two quotes from two
Yeah, it's
different
not
body
subject
shops.
to competitive bidding because of the amount.
Who was the second bid?
Yeah, Soups, and he was a little higher down Champlain.
was this Andy Bordeaux approached on that?
I don't believe so.
I don't-
You should have the
He's,
opportunity.
he's a
Well, that's
taxpayer.
yeah, so is M&S and Scioto.
Yeah, I think exactly.
There should be an opportunity.
If you wanna table it, we'll just table it till next meeting and get a couple
I
more
think it would
quotes.
be
I would
good,
feel more comfortable having
me too,
all, at least the local ones,
Exactly.
have the opportunity.
exactly.
There's got to be more people make their living.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, they brought up a good point. This would be just authorizing us to get the money. So if we say not to exceed $3,000, let's get a couple more proposals and see. Well,
Absolutely.
at least we're getting, because it takes 30
You're not
days.
awarding.
Right.
Yeah,
We're not awarding
okay.
it yet.
Okay, that's fine, it's fine, but we will seek the other businesses
The
in
local ones.
our town. Okay.
M&S and the other one was Andy's.
Andy Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Yep.
And are there any other ones in our town? Can you think of any other ones?
Not at the moment, no. But Soup, he's in town of
He's in
Champlain.
town of
isn't he?
Champlain.
Yeah, we'll get a couple more, that'd be good. Doesn't hurt.
Do they do stuff in Silence? I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, I have no
He lives
idea.
right there in Champlain.
He does
Yeah, but
some stuff
Soupy
in Salem.
does
Is there anybody in West Shazy?
Do it,
What's
so-
that?
M&S.
No,
There's
No, you
Salem.
can stay on the
Champlain.
Yeah.
no.
Nobody in West Shazy, you
No,
can
Just
go
to be over Markham.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's,
Okay. So
Okay, so
somebody
I'll make the motion to authorize up to $3,000.
Okay, Counselor Evans made the motion, do I have a second?
I do.
Any further discussion?
we award this at the next one, is that it? Or-
Yeah, we'll bring in all the
Okay.
bids and, or proposals, not really bids, but they're, we'll have facts or something on letterhead saying what their cost would be.
Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Counselor Devons,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next one, standard workday and reporting resolution for Supervisor Spiegel, Board Member Kathy Devons, and Court Clerk Lisa Pecor.
I'm not quite understanding this.
The New York State retirement, a while back you did a calendar for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when on that calendar, when I added up the hours and everything and averaged it out, how they have a certain formula, it comes up to be one day a month for you that I put towards the New York State retirement as a counselor, you know, here in town of Chazy.
Okay.
So when Staub and Lisa did theirs, that's how I calculated using, again, their formula, how I came up with their days. Now, if you think that is incorrect, you can do another 90-day calendar for me, and we can resubmit it.
Okay,
You know, because I know things change,
yes.
and they give us that opportunity
Okay.
to change
So
it.
I can start 90 days from now if I want to, and I can keep track of my time?
You certainly can.
You do know that, well, okay, fine, that's okay. Okay,
You wanna wait on this then, or?
no, it's fine.
No? Wanna make a motion?
So this is, I'll let you do.
Yeah, it's fine, it's, I was just going to say, you don't get credit on your retirement anyhow for it. I've already contacted retirement, and I get no credit for serving on town board for my retirement.
Wow, and they still make you do this?
Yes.
Because, in fact, I was gonna talk to you, Jerry, I need 90-day calendar from you. You're one of the other people. They gave me a list of 6
I thought
people.
I did one. I guess, how often do you have to
You-
redo it?
I
I
thought it
think
was,
every time you come up for.
it is, every time you go up for election,
No, I'm not doing
weren't you just reelected?
Are you in the state
Actually,
retirement
I did
system?
one. Yeah,
You are. Okay.
Yeah.
all right, so, all right, I'll do one. All right,
And do
I'll
we
make
start
the
from the
motion.
beginning of August, or when do we start it from?
It
when?
doesn't matter.
Doesn't make any difference.
Doesn't make any difference, okay. Okay,
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Counselor Dino made the motion, second by Counselor Devons. Any further discussion on this? Roll call, Counselor West,
Sure.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Counselor Devons,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Okay, and now we want to do a resolution on authorizing the painting of the rec park, is it?
Painting of the playground equipment at the rec park by an outside group, so the Ski Club or Lions Club or whoever we can get to paint it.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion has been made by Counselor Devon, seconded by Counselor Dino. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West,
Sure.
Counselor Devons,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
And we'll go to 2013 budget transfers.
I'll make a motion.
I will second.
Counselor Dino made the motion, seconded by Counselor Devons. Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devons,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
And we need a resolution. Well, let's do the payment of claims, I'll jump to come back to that.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Counselor Devons made the motion, seconded by Counselor Dino. Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devons,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Now, we need one for authorizing or requesting that NICEAG install a street light
Yes.
on West Church Street. I'll get the particulars off of this thing.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Counselor Dino made the motion, second by Counselor Devons, to request NICEAG to install a street light at 66 West Church Street.
It's across the road from that, yeah.
Oh, across
The
the-
pole number and everything is there.
Pole number L128E25.
Also, Timmy, on this note, it says, he lives at 66 West Church Street, West Chazy. Also believe there should be a stop sign installed at the upper entrance to the campground. I feel
But I
that
think
these two
that's
things are missing.
private.
Is it private?
It's
That's a
their,
private,
So it'd be
well,
at the
it's
end of
their
their-
driveway.
it's, yeah, their driveway, they would have to do that.
Yeah.
Church Street's county road.
It's county road.
County road,
yeah.
okay.
Okay, roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devons,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
I guess we need to do an executive session.
And so we make a motion to go in executive session.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.